Nobody saw this coming. Marc Márquez just did something at the Ducati tests that left every engineer in the paddock completely silent, and once you hear what happened, you're going to understand why the entire 2026 grid is already nervous. But before we get there, let's talk about something that almost nobody is covering. Marc Márquez, 8-time MotoGP world champion, winner of the 2025 title, stood on that championship podium in Japan and felt absolutely nothing, empty. His own words. Think about that for a second. The most decorated rider in the sport's history wins another world title and walks away feeling hollow. That's not a small detail. That's a warning sign, or maybe a sign of something far more dangerous about to be unleashed. Because here's what you need to understand. Márquez didn't spend this winter celebrating. No holidays, no rest. He gave all of it up every single day for one purpose: to come back in 2026, not just healthy, but evolved. His shoulder surgery is progressing ahead of schedule. The rehabilitation is intense, disciplined, obsessive, and people who have seen him working say the hunger in his eyes is different this time. Not the hunger of someone chasing a title, the hunger of someone settling a score with himself. And then there's what happened at the Ducati tests. The footage isn't fully public, the data is locked. But what leaked out of the Ducati garage is already making rival teams rethink their entire winter strategy. Márquez didn't just adapt to the GP26. He started pushing the bike in directions the engineers hadn't planned for. Directions that expose something most fans don't know about the new machine, a hidden performance window that Ducati has been quietly building since mid-2024. And Márquez found it. First try. Now pause. Because this is where it gets complicated. Pecco Bagnaia was watching, and the man who was supposed to be Ducati's undisputed number one had to sit with the data from those laps. Sylvain Guintoli, former MotoGP rider, one of the most technically sharp analysts in the paddock, didn't sugarcoat what happened to Pecco in 2025. He said it plainly: the front end destroyed him. Not in one race, not in one weekend. Gradually, across an entire season, Bagnaia lost feeling through the handlebars, and when that connection disappears, everything collapses. Braking points become guesses, corner entries become gambles, confidence evaporates, and the cameras catch all of it. The only time it clicked for Pecco in 2025 was Motegi. Both races. Dominant, beautiful, effortless MotoGP at its highest level, and then gone. The very next round, the problems came rushing back like they'd never left. That's what makes it so unsettling. He clearly still has it. The talent is there. The machine is capable. Something in between is broken, and nobody has fully explained what. So heading into the Ducati team launch set for January 19th in the Dolomites, where Bagnaia and Márquez will unveil the GP26 side by side, that tension is going to be impossible to ignore. Two champions, one bike, one team, and only one of them is walking in with momentum, fire, and a chip on his shoulder the size of a racetrack. Meanwhile, something is happening in the background that the MotoGP world is sleeping on. KTM didn't just announce their 850cc engine, they tested it, on track, at Jerez. Paul Espargaro riding a prototype that nobody expected to see moving this fast in the development cycle. New Pirelli tires, real circuit conditions. The footage hit social media, and the comments exploded, because what you're seeing isn't a manufacturer making progress. It's a manufacturer making a statement, and the timing is not accidental. Pedro Acosta almost left KTM. That's not a rumor, that's confirmed. The most exciting young talent in the sport was close, genuinely close to walking out the door. So what does KTM do? They put their 2027 weapon on track 3 months earlier than anyone expected, and they make sure Acosta sees exactly what the future holds if he stays. That's not engineering, that's psychology. And it worked. Back in Valencia, Enea Bastianini is doing something quietly important. His first day of KTM testing didn't set the world on fire. 17th overall, last among KTM riders, but the feedback coming out of that garage tells a completely different story. A new ergonomic seat, lower, more adaptive to his riding style. Two completely different bike configurations tested in a 3-5 hour window. Bastianini said the time was tight, but the direction is clear. And the Malaysia tests are coming. That's where the real data drops. Here's what nobody wants to say out loud. Bastianini on a KTM that actually suits him could be the wild card that ruins somebody's championship in 2026. He's been underestimated before. He responds to that. And then there's this. At the FIM Awards ceremony in Lausanne, Márquez walked in and owned the room, honored for his 2025 championship, celebrated alongside Spain's finest. And then the same weekend he stood inside a brand new racing museum in Mainz, Switzerland, where his 2025 Ducati is already a museum exhibit, a legend in his own time, literally. The same man who just had shoulder surgery, the same man who described feeling empty after winning, the same man who is currently the most dangerous force in the sport. Rafael Nadal said it best. Márquez has won everything possible and then some. But Nadal knows something about coming back from injury when the world thinks you're done. He knows what that kind of return looks like. And he's watching. So here's the question that should be keeping every MotoGP fan awake right now. Is the emptiness Márquez felt after Japan actually fuel? Is this the version of him that doesn't just win but dominates so completely that the championship is already over before half the season is done? Or is Bagnaia about to solve the front-end mystery, walk into Losail with full confidence, and remind everyone exactly why he was champion 4 times in a row? Drop your prediction below, because 2026 just got a lot more interesting than anyone planned, and we're only in December.